7 trips to the state semifinals in 8 years, including a pair of state championships and a state runner-up finish. It was quite an era of success for our next inductees. Let's take a look at the outstanding run by the 1988 to 1995 era of Warsaw football.
It was the late 1980s, and something big was on the way in Warsaw.
His third year, we made Final Four. And from then on, the train was in motion.
Led by head coach Randy Morrow, from 1988 to 1995, the football program at Warsaw was unmatched. In those 8 seasons, they went to 7 Final Fours.
Leading up to his arrival, we weren't really good. And I think that changing the culture, bringing in the new head coach, and the changing of the culture just was everything to Warsaw.
It started with Coach Morrow being the motivator and helping us as players understand what it took to be successful. Once that little taste of success happened, it was over with. I mean, there was just it was expected after that.
In 1988 and 89, they reached the semifinals. In 1990, they won the school's first championship in any sport. 3 years later, they won the title again. The 2 football state championships remain the only boys team state titles in school history.
We had, the cards were just right, I guess. We had a ton of really quality boys come through, and Randy was always at his best, getting not just 100% out of them, but 110.
Success breeds success, usually, and the attitude in the town and in the school district, everybody wanted a piece of it. It didn't matter what part, whether you were on the football team, cheerleader on the sidelines, or just a fan in the stands. Everybody wanted to be a part of it.
A runner-up finish in 94 and a semifinal appearance in 95 put a cap on the 8-year run where 23 Wildcats earned at least 1 All-State honor, as the team rolled up an incredible 94 victories.
Congratulations to all of you on your induction to the Hall of Fame, and from my heart, thank you very much for allowing me to be part of that, because it was a very special time in my life and always will be.
Guys, congratulations in being inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. It's such a fantastic honor. It was a great message I got from the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame that this was going to happen. I'm absolutely tickled to death to be celebrating it with most of you, and God bless you guys.
Loved all 4 years of playing with everybody that was involved, the coaches, the team. Just enjoyed all of it. This whole process has brought back a lot of memories, and again, congratulations. Glad to be a part of it.
For the better part of a decade, they were one of the premier programs in the state. We are honored to recognize their accomplishments. Please welcome their head coach, Randy Morrow, as well as members of the 1988 to 1995 football program from Warsaw High School.
We have a few of the players from that era with us today. If you want to acknowledge the crowd as I read these names. Patrick Anstatt, Kevin Balke, Chad Beck, Tony Berry, Brian Bliss, Randy Bliss, Joe Bogart, Matt Bohannon, Brandon Boyce, John Boyce, Rick Branson, Lauren Berkey, John Carlton, Michael Davenport, Dwayne Davis, Jeff Davis, Aaron Eaton, David Fajan, Jason Finley, Eric Flores, Scott Jeems, Jeremy Gregory, Bobby Hart, Joe Hilty, Doug Hicks, Troy Hockman, Derek Holmes, Stephen Holmes, Adam Howe, Ron Jenkins, Gary Jones, Larry Jones, Scotty Jones, Benji Kellner, Josh Knight, Charles Chuck Martin, Jim Miller, Stephen Miller, Danny Morrison, Jay Morrison, head coach Randy Morrow, Bryce Morrow, Brandon Morrow, Josh Nolan, Andy Nolte, Nathan Parks, Anthony Perkins, Chad Pickens, Jock Porter, Bill Ramsey, Eric Ramsey, Michael Slavens, Donnie Van Natta, Brent Whitaker. This time, head coach Randy Morrow will deliver the acceptance.
Oh, thank you. You should have been at the Oasis last night with all of these guys. They had a really good time. I've got 3 minutes, and on behalf of these coaches, the players, and the community of Warsaw, we want to say thank you to the committee, the Hall of Fame committee, for giving us this great opportunity and honor. I am so proud of these young men and their coaches for what they've done over these 8 years. I think there's a discrepancy, but I think we have 95 wins with 10 losses, and that averages out to about 12 a year. And what's even more interesting is that Warsaw had only been playing varsity football for less than 10 years. Let me just highlight about 5 things that these guys did in this 8 years. 7 of these 8 years, they either played in the semifinals or they were in the finals. 4 of these teams had undefeated regular seasons. The 93 team went perfect season, 14-0. We had 2 state championships in that era, 90 and 93. And then our 94 team was a state runner-up. However, they had a 27-game winning streak. So that was pretty impressive. And the coaches, that I can't say enough about them, because if I start talking about my players and coaches, I'll get emotional and I'll be blubbering up here, so I'm going to stop on that. So like they say, I had 3 minutes to talk about, highlight 8 years, and it's impossible. These young men are so much more than wins and losses. What they did for the community during their high school days is probably what I admire about them the most. Whether it be parking cars at the Benton County Rodeo, or probably what we're known for is helping vendors load their vehicles after the Heritage Days festival that we have every year. Or all the moving we did for people of Warsaw. If you wanted something done, you called the coach, he'd grab some players, and we would get her done. You've heard of 2 men in a truck? We were a team in a trailer. And I want to appreciate 3 coaches that's coaching at Warsaw now. Coach Boyer, where are you? He's probably back out there. Because Coach Boyer, Coach Morrison, and Coach Slavens, all former players of ours that have continued this tradition for over 35 years. And last, but certainly not least, is the man that made all of this happen. He is a real head coach of all of us coaches because he hired us, he mentored us, and he encouraged us. And that man is sitting right over there at table 12, Dr. John Boyce, former superintendent of the Warsaw School District. I want to personally thank Dr. Boyce for taking away from my hometown to fulfill a lot of my dreams and coaches with these young men that you see up here now. I can't say enough for what these players have done. And Coach Barry, you won, because you said that I would not be able to, the music would play. So I'm going to stop right there. Again, from the coaches, players, and all the community, we want to thank the committee for giving or including us in this year's enshrinement ceremony. Thank you so much.
I was getting a play-by-play of the Oasis activities last night. It did sound like you guys had a good time. If you're here from Warsaw, I believe they brought most of Benton County with them. If you're here today with Warsaw, please stand. Appreciate you all being here today. Warsaw High School, 1988 to 1995 football era, enshrined as members February 4th, 2024, in recognition of your outstanding contributions in the sport of football.
Hey, back at you. Thank you. Yes.
Weeks after